So, surprising news. I was not planning to record today. I have an Ammonite sitting on my desk because this is what I was working on. I didn't have my computer out or anything like that. So my Ammonite is sadly probably not going to get finished today. I was just gluing it back together. I found it a couple days ago and I was working on that. The Ammonite has nothing to do with what I'm working on. I am rapidly approaching an amount of subscribers on YouTube that is off the wall, bonkers, crazy, pants insane. And I really do not know how to feel about that. I'm really excited, but also I am, it's a weird thing. I've never, considered myself being internet popular. I've thought about it for, being, a long time when I was younger and being like, oh, I'd love to talk about that. And I'm very passionate about science outreach, and so, I got to say I am, frankly, quite excited about this opportunity. Enough of the rambling, though. I want to do some kind of special for this milestone. Having 2,000 YouTube subscribers is probably to some people, something you can just sneeze at, which is probably, quite realistic considering that it is frankly, a very small number in the grand scheme of things. But for me, it feels quite special. And so, while I work on this enclosure that I'm building here, it's supposed to be like kind of I guess, African, when you go to a zoo, you typically see these big African savanna enclosures that, and I want to play on this a little bit, are not entirely accurate to what that African savanna environment would look like. So here, rather than trying to accurately depict a Triassic floodplain, I want to have something that catches the vibe of a Triassic floodplain without necessarily restricting myself too strongly to species accuracy or formation accuracy. I'm probably going to make it so that these animals all live roughly around the same time, but honestly, there is not a ton that I'm interested in terms of making this enclosure look accurate. I just want it to look nice. For a big thing like this, for 2,000 YouTube subscribers, I wanted to do something interesting. And I'm an artist, and I'm also a paleo artist. I spend a lot of my time, at least trying to contribute to paleo art community and, work on stuff that folks can find useful. I try to make a lot of my art open source so that people can use it for free without having to pay for it. Obviously, that's not the case for all of my stuff, but, for a large amount of it, it is. And so one of the aspects of being, an artist and contributing to your community is being an art critic. And so for at least a part of this whole 3,000 or 2,000 subscriber thing, 3,000 is, in the moment, I think getting ahead of myself, but I had half the subscribers I do now the morning of today. So it is kind of scary to see how quickly this is happening, which is, interesting and exciting. I'm spilling over into my mammoth enclosure here. All right. That's unfortunate. But so I am very interested to see, what my community's art is like. I know I have some artists in my community, particularly because a lot of them commented on my recent video. And so if that's you, then I would love to see your stuff. And I have a public email. It is in the description of every single video I upload. It is dripthesaurus@gmail.com. Not Driptosaurus, Dripthesaurus, because Driptosaurus was taken. But it is available to everybody. And for one part of this 2,000 subscriber milestone, I wanted to do a little Q&A video, as well as a community art review. So in terms of what I would be doing, it would just be, going over people's things that they submit. If you have a piece of art that you have not done that you would like reviewed, I would appreciate if you at least, I accidentally just pulled up GeForce Experience. I would appreciate if you maybe checked with the artist, although at the end of the day, I really do not mind if you send something in by someone like Louis Ray or something like that. Something well known. If you want me to review a Jurassic Park movie and something from there, then I'm totally okay with that. That's perfectly fine. But if it's a small artist that maybe doesn't necessarily want the attention, I definitely credit them. If you're sending in someone else's work, please credit them. But beyond that, you can send in other people's stuff if you want. But yeah, send in your stuff, send in other folks' stuff. Doesn't have to be art. It can be questions and anything. Because this is not just about paleontology. Usually, I only really respond to paleo questions on my email. But for this, if you want to ask a question about me, about my personal life, within reason, I suppose, you're absolutely welcome to. And I would be more than happy to talk about most things regarding it. So feel free to fire away and ask that sort of thing. I hope everybody has a lovely time. And I'll probably also do some art for this. So if you have something in your mind that you want me to draw particularly, this is coming at kind of an awkward time, which is interesting. I'm currently preparing to pack up and switch cities because my summer field position is ending, which is why there's bags all around me. So that's something. But I should be able to get a video out, at least in a relatively timely manner, like in maybe a week or so. But yeah, so if that's something that interests you, if you are excited about that and you would like to submit your art for review or just ask a question about anything paleontology related or just about this channel or anything like that, please feel free to do that. And thanks everybody in this community for getting me to where I am now. It's really amazing to see, and frankly, I really do appreciate it. So, thank you. And hopefully, by the time I do that, this enclosure will be done, and I can tour it for the video. But yeah, thanks everybody, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. Have a good day, good night, wherever you are, and whatever you're doing. And goodbye.